It's been a busy summer. It has been a really busy summer. And I'd personally like to thank the Saudi Pro League for funding our summer because they bought a lot of our players. We sold 9 players for £311 million. We signed 10 players for 402. We have a lot to get through. There is no more time to waste. Let's just get straight into it. Today we take on Brentford and Manchester United as our league campaign kicks off. This is Average Gamer. My name is Duncan. Welcome back to the Journeyman. So hi everyone, welcome in. Let's kind of start from what can only be described as the very, very, very beginning of our outgoings. Because I think the outgoings is probably a lot better to do first, and then we'll go through all the incomings as we do it. Yes, I'm going through my bits of paper because I always take notes because I forget what I'm doing over a pre-season. And we have a lot of notes today, which is always fun because some of these cells have more of a story to them. This one, however, doesn't. Lewis Thompson was a 16-year-old who came through our academy last season. We sold him for $6 million, with it rising to about 8.25, I think. The fans weren't happy, but he was not our main prospect for the striking position. So it wasn't really one that we actually cared about. To me, it just made sense to cash in the guy who, chances are, was never going to make it for us. With us, and we have better prospects at the club already in Jean Abraham, who's out on loan just now, back at Middlesbrough for the season. There was someone else who is in our youth who I can't remember now off the top of my head, but yeah, he went. Somebody called Dan Stevenson left in a free. Yeah, me neither, don't know who he is. But the first sale that we have here that took place, this wasn't the first one to take place as such, but it was the first one to leave the club due to transfer windows not opening. So we'll do it in this kind of order, and if I need to, I'll jump between each of my notes. Alejandro Fuller has left us to go to Aston Villa. I made a decision to cash in on him because I've made, in my opinion, upgrades in the striking positions. The deal was just a straight up £15 million. I think it was 7.5 this year and then 7.5 next year or whatever. But he's left us. He never really performed for us. Over 2 years, 24 league appearances, 3 goals. Thing is, on paper he should be a good striker, but he just wasn't doing it for us. In all competitions last year, he scored 7 goals, which isn't too bad, I guess, in 23 appearances. But when the club spent 34 million on him, it's just not good enough. So the clubs took quite a bit of a hit on a loss on him. I just wasn't going to make it work. The next player that's left is Thiago Martino on this list of things. He has went to Newcastle. I offered him out. I seen him was interested in him, so we offered him out. I'm just looking for my note on him in case this deal actually adds up to more than I expected. I can't even read my own handwriting now. He must be on this page unless I forgot I sold him. No, it's just a straight up £40 million. So we offered him out, and I think it was like Villarreal came in, £18 million, take it or leave it. And Newcastle come in and went, 33 million, so I just negotiated up to 40. So Thiago Martino has left us for £40 million. He actually wasn't a player that I wasn't chasing him out the door. Again, the clubs took a loss on him. Quite a big loss on him. They actually sold him for for 66 million. The first season he played a fair bit. He made 54 appearances for the club in his first season. His second season, which we took over halfway, he made 27 appearances, and he was never a mainstay for us. He didn't really fit us at right back. He did a couple of okay games for us at centre midfield, but when we were looking to move on, he wasn't going to play left or right back for us. We wanted to make a little change in midfield anyway, in terms of personnel, so he probably wasn't going to fit in there. He was on a decent wage. It kind of, in my head, made sense to try and move him on. Yes, we've now made another loss on a player as a club, but I think overall we did the right thing in moving Martinho on. The next player to leave was a player I didn't intend on selling, and it was Jarell Hato. He left in a £54 million move to Manchester City. And the reason I didn't expect him to move on was because they bid for him. They came in for him. We didn't make that move. We didn't offer him out or anything. We wanted to keep him, so that kind of left me looking for another player to fill in that role, which, to be fair, I think I've done okay with, but we'll see. Arsenal bought him 10 years ago for 75 million, and they've sold him for 54 million. That's after winning a Champions League. But you see, he played pretty frequently in the league then last season. 4 seasons ago he didn't. I don't know if that was through injury or not. Played a lot the following season, went weirdly out on loan to Lille, and then came back in and played a hell of a lot for me. Played 45 times in total last season in competitive games. I think he'll be missed. He was a good player, but 29 years old, probably still could have got another few years out of him, but we have went for younger players in there. And that was the last of the big sales before it became officially this season. Liam Malachi Kalman, his loan deal became permanent. He left to join Real Madrid, in an £11.25 million. Few players left out of contract. Then this happened. Gabriel Martinelli left the club for £15 million. Now, I did say that probably one of Saka or Martinelli would move on. So I did what I thought was the right thing. So both players are out of contract next summer. I sat down with both. I wanted to discuss a new contract with both. One, Saka's on £350,000 a week. I ideally want him to take a wage cut. He refused to enter negotiations because he didn't think the club could afford what he wanted from us. Fine. He didn't. He wanted to. He didn't want to sign your contract because of the interest from Saudi Arabia. Fair enough. We offered him out. Nobody bid for him. It's fine. Gabriel Martinelli was on £950,000 a week. We had an £8 million wage budget. He took up £1 million of that, essentially. I wanted to negotiate his wage down. He refused to enter negotiations because we couldn't pay what he wanted. We offered him out, and Al Nassr have come in and spent $15 million to take him off our hands and free up a lot of wages, while they pay him £1.1 million a week. I'm happy with that sell, purely to free up the wages. We've spent more than we brought in terms of transfers, but we've actually saved wages overall on what we were previously spending. Yeah. Antonio Silva was the next player to left. He left on a £64 million switch, also to Al Ahly in the Saudi Pro League. Fantastic player. I think we've upgraded on him. The fans aren't happy with some of the sales we've done. I get it. The board are happy with the financial aspects of some of the sales I've done. So, who were my biggest supporters at the end of last season? The fans are probably the ones more annoyed at me. The board are very happy with me. It's just a switch. But yeah, we sold him on. Again, he was on a good wage, but 31 years old, £64 million. I wasn't refusing it, especially when I got my number one target to replace him. Any player who did leave, I did get, with the exception of Hato, I got my number one target to replace each individual player, so I'm quite happy, but I didn't always have a target for everyone I sold. That was an issue. Carlos Baleba, we sold him for £50 million. Another player who entered the final year of his contract. Same as Silva, same as Martinelli, same as Saka, who is still with us. The fans again weren't happy I sold him. He didn't perform for me. He just didn't perform for me. And I know he's had a great average rate in the last 3 seasons, but for me, he didn't do what I needed. He eventually get dropped by us. Arsenal have got half their money back on him. But again, in that time, he's won a Champions League. I don't know what else he's maybe won. Probably the right time for him to move on. But the fans are not happy in that one. One player I wasn't expecting to leave was Francesco Giannichini. We sold him for £55 million to Real Madrid. I was surprised to see the interest in him, to be honest. It wasn't one I expected. And Again, £55 million, I looked at it, thought about it, and went, for once, I think it's the only sale we've done this season with Cesar Martinelli that we've made profit on. The club signed him last season for £49.5 million. We've sold him this season for 55. One season he made 33 appearances overall with an average rating of 6.88. He was okay. I don't think he was the right fit for us. I think there was better players in front of him, and Malkov. Yeah, it happened. The other player who is gone is Aramide Colbert, youngster. Sold him for a deal of £5 million, rising to 8.25. Yeah, nothing spectacular about him. Again, wasn't going to make it with us. He was going to be our right back, second choice right back this season. By the time we got, I'd say maybe halfway through pre-season, he just wasn't doing it for me. We decided then to stick with McClelland. We've still got McClelland, so yeah, he's gone. Let's get to the ins, the bit that most people usually get excited about. Let's start with the players we knew about. Warren Jones came in on a massive £65 million fee, which I think is also rising to something else. If I vaguely remember correctly, to go backwards and check. Also, Chang Shoks went out on loan for the season, which we badly wanted, because we wanted him to get some game time. When did I buy this bastard? Did I make a note? It doesn't matter. Warren Jones came in. I think he looks sorted. He is going to be starting. Spoiler alert, he is starting today's game up front on his own. I think he will be a good player for us. He's only a squad player, which is good. But yeah, that's the sign. Another sign we already knew about was Eric Estrada. We signed for £39 million, rising to £44 million. First choice left-sided centre back. He's just a ball winner. That's what he's in there to do. 16 heading, 16 marking, 17 tackling, possession of 17, anticipation of 16, good bravery, good decision making and concentration. He's just in there to win the ball back, move it to someone better, and he's only 19 years of age. Let's get the signings you don't know about. If we sold Martinelli, I wanted to bring in Jordan Derry, and I've done just that on a £59 million move from Leicester. What he has is pace in abundance. A good cross, good at dribbling, good first touch. Passing's not the best, but he's good technique, good off-ball work, and good work rate. Everything we want from him, with the exception of his passing, which can easily be worked on, is there. He is pacey, left-footed, and honestly, I think he will be a better fit for us, and hopefully provide a lot more assists. What Ivanovic did for us at Lyon, I'm hoping he does the exact same for us here. But Jordan Derry has signed, replacing Martinelli in a £59 million move. Next was a replacement for Silva, the player who I'd earmarked for that role well before the end of the season. We signed him from Bournemouth in a deal rising to 90 million, 80 million guaranteed. His name is Jake Laskowski. He can play as a back three, which is his probably preferred, but as a ball-playing defender on cover, he is a beast. Acceleration and pace, he is 6'2". He is fast as fuck. He has amazing jump reach, amazing natural fitness as well, good stamina. He is a guy who I could probably play every game this season and he won't need rested. His marking is phenomenal at 18, fantastic tackling and good heading. Again, passing's maybe not the best, but again, it can probably be worked on. He's 25 years old. He is our main centre-half, I believe, for the next wherever long Arsenal want to keep him for. I think he is an absolute monster of a centre-half. Great concentration, decision-making, anticipation, bravery. Again, position is phenomenal. I really, really hope that he is what we need. He'll stay back at all times. Downside, he'll dive out of tackles, but he will mark tight line. He'll play short, simple passes. That's all I need from him. The next signing was... It's pretty much a stopgap. It's Conor Gallagher from AC Milan, a £3 million deal. He's 35 years old. His physical traits are pretty much gone. He's got enough natural fitness, okay acceleration, pace is gone, decent enough stamina, but technically still a very good player. As a sub, coming off the bench, when we need to give players a rest or whatever in a game, or maybe cup games against lower level opposition, I think he'll be fine. He's just coming in as a stopgap. £3 million move on a 1-year deal. I'm generally pretty happy with that. This here, I think, is a fucking steal. Mirko Maldonado, a player that we looked at Lyon quite a bit. We've signed him for £14 million, rising to 16.75. He is a deep lying forward, but he can quite easily play advanced forward. He's on a complete forward. Can't head the ball for love nor money, but that's not the point. Pretty much deep line. He's either going to be our main striker or second striker. He's came in as a squad player. His physicals are great. Fantastic acceleration and pace for what we need. Good jumping reach, good agility. Can't head a ball. Don't worry about it. Fantastic long shots, but his first touch, finishing, dribbling and composure is all what you need. And if he is going to be a deep line forward, that passing technique, off the ball work, it's all there. I think he will be an outstanding sign. When I seen he was available for that price, Fuller gets sold. Yes, he's 27. That's fine. We needed quality in there, and I genuinely feel now, with the strikers we have that quality. The only player who, he is a quality player but isn't probably the striker we need, our main striker we need, is Osur. He's still here, but he'll be perfect if we go with a 2 up front system, I think. Mamadou Badji. He's come in on a free transfer. He is our 5th choice centre half. He's just come in a 2-year deal, pretty much as a backup if we need him. I don't think he's anything exceptional, but he's not bad either. He's 6 foot, good pace, jumping reach, strength, fairly decent defensive, traits, okay-ish heading, decent marking, decent tackling. See, for a backup who, if we need to rest a couple of defenders or we're playing cup games against low-level opposition, whatever it needs to be, I think he'll be fine. This is a move for a guy who I have overspent now, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run. He is Jose Enrique Marin. He was £62 million. He's a star player, we promised him. He will either be our number 6 or he'll play in centre mid as a ball-winning midfielder. I said I needed a monster. I have got a monster. 15 marking, 17 tackling. His positioning, teamwork and work rate is all there. Aggression of 18, which worries me slightly, but we'll worry about it. One thing weirdly, he will dictate tempo. He will look for a pass rather than attempt to score. So he's going to basically be like a playmaking ball-winning midfielder. He's got the pace and the stamina we need. Anticipation is great. I genuinely think he is the midfielder we have been missing to make our midfield work. Spoiler, he's also starting today. We then spent £50 million on a goalkeeper, Jose Pinheiro. I think I have massively overspent, and not because of his stats. I think, if you look at his stats, he's a sweeper keeper who has 2 worrying stats for me, but the rest I'm okay with. His rushing out tendency is only 9. He's not going to rush out, and even if he tried to, he's not the quickest. But fantastic aerial reach, good command of his area, decent enough communication, eccentricity is 18, which basically means he will do the fucking weird and wonderful to save a shot. Fantastic handling and kicking, good passing, which we're going to need. Good one-on-ones, fantastic reflexes and throwing. I think he is an upgrade on what we have. I think I've overspent on him. But only because I've seen a better goalkeeper after I signed him for about the same price. But he's come in, he's replacing Brits, he is replacing Tommy. Brits I tried to sell, couldn't. It's fine, he's there. He says there's no cons to his game. We'll see. And the last but not least is our replacement essentially for Hato. If you think Estrada came in to be the first choice over him, it is young centre half from Coventry called Marco Arnitz. He is a German, 20-year-old. We have spent 30 million on him. Downside, jumping reach. Only 9. But he's playing cover, so I'm not necessarily expecting him to be the jumping reach type. But what he is, great tackling, good marking, okay-ish heading. Can develop, but I think overall, we don't just get him as a wonder kid. I don't see that necessarily. But what I do see is a good young centre-half that we can keep here for the next probably 10 years as a second choice squad option. I think he's good. Did overspend? Maybe, but for what we're going for, I think he's good. He's also, if I remember correctly, close to being... So in 2 years' time... Oh, he might not actually make it. He might not be classed as homegrown. He might not. Who knows? But that is all of our signings. So let's get to today's lineup. In goals will be Pinheiro. Back four, which in my opinion is our strongest back four, is Gomez at right back, Laskowski, Estrada and Van Dessel. Malkov will play as deep line playmaker on defend. Yes, he will. With Marin being the ball-winning midfielder on support in front of him, and Villegas as our advanced playmaker in midfield, with Saka on the right, Derry on the left, and Jones as that complete forward up front. Our bench then is Van Langen, our centre half, Neil McClelland, and Marco Arnitz. Escalante, Conor Gallagher, and Eduardo Aguirre make up our midfield three. Servan, Williams keep the bench, with Lesueur on the bench as well, to see if we bring him on. Let's get into today's game against Brentford at home. Expectations for this... Oh, I've not looked at the season preview, but we'll do that. Expectations for us this season then, from the board. Win the Europa League. We'll see. Qualify for the Champions League at the end of the season. Try and reach the last stages of the FA Cup and be competitive in the Carabao Cup. Next season, they want us to win the Premier League. We'll see. The fans only want to qualify for the Champions League as well. So yeah, that's where we're at. Let's have a quick look though at the season preview and see where the media think we'll finish with our rebuild done. Third. Do you know what? Seeing where we were last season, I think that's very realistic. Very, very realistic. The one player who I did want, who we couldn't afford, was Connor Christie, our old player from Exeter that we signed from Manchester City. By Christ, do I want him, but we are not spending the money to buy him. But yeah, so that's what we'd expect to finish from the media as third. Let's see where we finish come the end of this season. I'm excited and nervous. I think I've overspent, possibly on paper, but I'm hoping outcomes prove me correct. Antonio Conte is the manager of Brentford. Didn't think I'd be seeing that today when I looked at who the manager was. We're faced for a reason. Go out there and show them why. We've made a lot of changes to try and fit how I want this team to play, and I genuinely think we have improved. I don't think there's an area of the park where we're weaker overall from where we were at the end of last season to where we are now. There was one other deal actually that I didn't mention, and it was Krejci has went on loan to Aston Villa. If he plays 25 league games this season, we will receive £60 million. He was injured when we came in. He was only fit for the last few games of the season. We never played him. Now, by all accounts, looking at stats and the coach reports on him, could comfortably be our second choice right midfielder. But we know what Harrison Williams can and can't do. We know his downfalls. And I think for us, there was more upside in trying to sell Krejci and keep Williams than there was the other way around. So hopefully makes you 25 league appearances for Aston Villa. We get another 60 million for a guy that I've never used, and I don't feel any weaker for it. On paper again I might be, but I don't feel any weaker for it. Marin with a poor pass. Let's see how our defence and goalkeeper handle this attack. Perfectly fine. Absolutely perfectly fine. So what do you think of my business so far? Before these games are fully played, before I've seen them, on paper, just by looking at them, without pretend that you answer before watching the two games, how do you think I did in this transfer window? Did I do good? Did I do bad? Saka has a shot right off the goalkeeper, and it's out for a corner. Transfer window is still open. In my head, business is done. If a good offer came in for Saka, I would sell. We would bring in another right winger. That's truth. If a good offer came in for Lesueur, I would consider it. But anyone else, realistically, I don't think I'll be moving on. Like I said, I feel like I'm kind of done in the transfer window this summer. We'll see. The only player who I still want to move on who hasn't left yet is Spike Brits, but there's no interest in him whatsoever. That's fine. Is what it is. Right, Laskowski's got the ball. Gets it to Marin, who gets it to Jones, who takes a really bad touch all the way back. Estrada plays an easy ball to Van Dessel. Derry, who's going to use his pace here. He's got by one. Plays it back to Van Dessel, who's inside. Has shot over the bar. Derry looks like he's having a fun time in the left wing. Saka with the free kick. Plays it short for Gomez. Good save, I guess, by the goalkeeper, but Gomez has got to be doing better in that position. Why are my strikers always hitting my corners? Set piece coach. Please tell me why. Tell me why. Right, Gomez with the throw. Marin. Saka. We're definitely creating the chances. So Marin's having a poor game, which is understandable. So is Van Dessel. Jones isn't having the best of games. Neither's Villegas. Neither's Estrada, apparently, or Gomez. There's a few players just not performing, but it is the first game of the season. And I always feel like it does take a few games of the season before you're probably in your stride. Jordan Derry, on his debut, scores the opener in today's game, an assist for Antonio Villegas. Hopefully the first of many for both lads. Laskowski, who just casually runs forward into the opposition half of the ball, plays a short pass to Villegas, one-time ball through to Derry, takes one touch, outside of the left foot, it's in the bottom corner. We take the lead at home over Brentford. So we're leading at half-time. I'm not happy with your performance though, but we're leading at half-time. No one's on a booking, and no one's injured. It feels like it's been a while in a game I've been able to do that at half-time. Not have to make a sub for injury or fitness, and not have to make a sub to worry about getting a guy sent off. The other good thing about selling Giannacini is he was still suspended for a further 2 or 3 games, so he won't be playing anytime soon for us either. Right. My set-piece coaches are worrying me. They keep putting my strikers on corners. Yeah, I'm going to have a... I think I'm going to have to maybe take the set-piece takers off of me coach. Because I'm not happy with not having my fucking £65 million striker in the box at a bloody corner. Right, they're breaking forward now. Which is kind of what you'd expect. Also just notice I have a bit of hair just sticking up, but ignore it. Villegas out to Derry. Can he find anyone in the box? Runs right down to the byline, but can't get the cross in. We do have a throw though. Laskowski, Malkov plays it out to Derry, who's been very involved today. Villegas back to Derry. Oh, unlucky. He's probably got to finish that, to be honest, but right now we're still winning. I'm not going to be too critical. Saka with the corner this time. Awful ball in. Maybe that's why Jones is hitting them. I think we're all going to make a change in a minute. Or two. I'm going to take off Saka. I'm going to bring on Williams. I'm also going to bring off Van Dessel. Bring on Neil McClelland. There'll be oh God, Gomez having a bad game as well. But yeah, that's what we'll do there. I think that's the only two changes that I'm going to make at the moment. I'm going to give Warren Jones a bit more time. I want to see what he's like with maybe a winger on the other side as well who's playing well instead of just one. Right, Jones has won the ball back. Gets it to Marin, who plays it to Saka. Plays it to Villegas. First time ball to Derry. Slots at home. Linesman has the flag up. Is it offside? I'm going to say yes. I think it was. And it was. It was just offside by lots of things. Let's see how close this one is. Not very. Miles off. Valid. Valid. Right, can we defend this corner though? Laskowski gets the header. Maybe not the best header, but he does win the initial ball. Villegas heads it clear again. Dokes offside. That's fine. I'm going to take off Marin in a minute, I think. Villegas with a free kick. Yeah, let's let's make a little bit of a shift in formation. Let's take our ball winner off. Jones will continue playing up there, but he's going to have Lesueur with him now as that advance forward. Let's actually just move you over. D-line playmaker and defend. Let's play a little bit of an asymmetric style. We'll see how this goes for just a maybe 5-10 minute period before we make more subs. And it's 1-1. So, where is the error here? You just stop tracking men. Yeah. Okay. I'll take the blame for that one. Right, McClellan throws it in Malkov. Villegas tries to get Lesueur. Jones hits it. Is it going to count? Is Warden Jones scoring on his debut? I fucking hope so. Yeah, it's counting. Don't think this should be in, but it's in. Malkov gets ball to Villegas, who tries to get it to Lesueur. Obert just stops the pass, falls straight to Jones, who just curls it in. Bottom corner, nice and easy. 2-1. Villegas with a free kick. Unlucky. Really not happy with some of the defending here. That is worrying me. So I'm going to put McClelland on that side. Estrada's going to go out left. He will play as inverted fullback himself. Gomez will come off. Arntz will get his debut as a centre defender on cover. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to look to see what happens. Lesueur, I think, just got the goal. This is 100th goal or something. I missed it. Corner. Jones hits the corner. Lesueur rises, heads it home. 3-1 as we make another change. Arntz is coming on, replacing Gomez, who's just had an absolute howler of a game. McClellan goes right back. Estrada will go left back. It's going to be a very defensive back four now, but I think that'll be fine. Estrada with the cross. Lesueur's there. Heads it straight to the goalkeeper. It's good to see both our strikers getting on the score sheet on our first game of the season. Villegas, Lesueur, Arntz, Estrada. Breaking down that left flank. Back post, Wiles with the header. Not troubling the goalkeeper. Derry now. Gets tackled. Villegas still has the ball. Malkov. Lukowski. Out to McClelland. Plays a ball with his weaker foot. Lesueur. Chevalier. Tips over the bar for Brentford. We are in full control here. And I love it. Warden Jones with the corner in this time. Nobody at the back post for it. McClelland. Lukowski. End of highlight. Villegas, good ball in behind for Derry. He's got to cut it across. He does. Williams, and it's in. Jordan Derry has had a fantastic debut. All of our current front four have got a goal today, and I am loving it. Arntz to Villegas. Look at this ball in behind. Derry uses his pace, sees it on run of Williams, right across that 6-yard box, and Williams slots it home to make it Arsenal 4, Brentford 1. Right now, I am loving it. Right, Estrada heads it to Jones. Back to Malkov. Williams. Lesueur takes a very good touch, actually. Cuts it back from Malkov. Will he have a shot himself? He does. Forces a corner. Does he? Or is that a goal kick? I think it may have been a goal kick and I just made up the corner in my head. Wolves 5, Luton 3. Jesus Christ. Just waiting for the final whistle as we win the opening game of the season. Arsenal 4, Brentford 1. And with the turnaround in playing squad that we've had and the performance that we essentially put in second half, I love it. 23 shots, 17 on target, XG of 3. In an attacking sense, we did everything perfectly well. I am absolutely delighted with that. Genuinely, absolutely delighted with that performance. Although, next game's going to be a hell of a lot tougher. Join me in a moment as we take on Manchester United. So welcome back. A couple of things kind of happened that I found kind of interesting. We have a young left back. He's 19 years old. We received a loan offer from some Italian club for him. They wanted a mandatory fee at the end. I was like, no, you can have him on loan for the season, but I don't want to sell him. And so we end up negotiating, agreed a deal that we weren't buying him from me. And then he's like, oh, why don't you let me go? I was like, I don't want to sell you. But so I think the deal that they'd offered was worth like 14 million or something. So I've agreed with the lad that if we receive a deal of 35 million, he can be sold. We're not getting that. So that's fine. He'll be staying. Another one I found incredibly weird is we've played one competitive game this season. Van Langen came to me. He's like, boss, I'm really kind of worried about the fact I'm not getting the game time I was promised. Could I go out on loan? I'm like, no, I'll just give you the game time you were promised. He's a regular starter. I thought he was a squad player. Right. Well, tits. I thought it was a squad player, so I was like, yeah, I'll give you your playing time. But no, you're not a regular starter, pal. You probably never will be. We're going in unchanged against Manchester United. Same with the bench. The bench will not be changed either. Let's go to it. The assistant manager recommendation was to replace Marin with Aguirre, but I think I want the ball-winning midfielder in against Manchester United for some strange reason. And I'm keeping Jones in. He scored a goal, but again, that was with two up top. But then again, Lesueur scored a goal, but again, that was with two up top. We're in that horrific yellow or green and black strip. I can't tell what colour that's meant to be. That neon colour. And at Manchester United, the home team, are in their red kit, which you would expect from the home side. Let's see how our team holds up against a far better opposition than they did against Brentford. We did concede a stupid goal, but we scored 4 good goals against Brentford. Can we play well enough to get a couple more goals here today against Manchester United? Gomez is on the ball. He had an awful first game of the season. Across the ball for Jones, who heads it over the bar. Got to be doing better, Jones. Got to be doing better, bud. I feel weird. It feels good having strikers, with the exception of Lesueur, who have like a clean slate with me. Like who I don't have scar tissue from watching miss sitter after sitter. And having a defence that I haven't seen be completely ragdolled yet. Both of those things make a big difference going into games. Funnily enough. Both sides have had one shot 30 minutes into the game. Neither have had a shot on target. We've had more possession, which you would not really necessarily expect. They've had more fouls in a corner. We've had less. They picked up a booking. Okay, so if you're a fan or a neutral, this is a really shit game for you. If you're a manager, well, it's 0-0 at half time. Yeah, I'm going to tell them that it's nowhere near fucking good enough. Give it 10 minutes, 15 minutes, see what's happening. See if I notice what to change to try and get us actually in this game. Because right now it seems like again we're breaking down with Villegas, Saka, and then I don't know if it's as a result Jones is having a bad game or if Jones is also having a bad game. Same with Estrada. Estrada's having a bad game as well. Let's bring on Van Langen. We know what he can do. He's also a phenomenal player, but it's things now. Let's take off Saka for Williams. He's not as quick initially, but he is quicker over the course. I'm also going to bring on Aguirre to come on. He will be our centre mid on attack. Let's just keep the one playmaker just now. That's going to make it fortunate. Van Dessel's had a poor game again. I think I'm going to start Aina in the next game. I have faith you go out there and make a difference, please. Felt the pressure lifted, inspired, happy, and composed. I'll take that. 4 changes here, an hour into the game. We're not changing shape. I don't think that's going to help us today. Jones is coming off. He's not really doing it for us here, but Lesueur is. Lesueur does have something over him, and that's pace. His decision making is probably a hell of a lot worse. but, you know, it is what it is. Gomez, who's had a lot better game today than he did against Brentford. Derry doesn't seem to be getting on the ball much, though. Marin, Malkov, plays the ball out to Derry, funnily enough. Gets it back to Malkov. Aguirre out to Marin, to Malkov. He's still got it. Hits a shot. Over the bar. Over the bar. No more subs that we can make. A draw away to Man United, is that the worst result? Probably not. Probably not. Especially when they're predicted to finish second. I mean, I'll take it. It's a draw. It's a 0-0 draw. 4 points out of 6 in our opening 2 games. I don't even know if we were unlucky today, but I'll tell that to them if it will keep them happy. I'll tell that to them if it will keep them happy. Again, it's not the worst start to league, to be fair. The next... Fuck, it's Everton next to. We're a good team last year. Let's have a look at our upcoming fixtures, because I actually don't know what they are past this. So Everton before the window, Carabao Cup game. Let's come back for the Carabao Cup game. Let's come back for Brighton. We'll see if any other business is done between now and the end of the transfer window. I don't think so, but you never know. So we'll come back for whoever the hell we're playing in the Carabao. And then we'll be back for Brighton. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave a thumbs up. It greatly helps the channel out. And I know Dash Jelly on your thoughts for leave the comments. So, yeah, on paper, what do you make of my transfer window? Let me know in the comments below. I'll catch you in the next one.